But if you do want to contact us, we're here, and we will bring you any significant news if it breaks. But as you know, the main news broke overnight, so we'll distract you for a while anyway. We hope. But as I say, the Liveline is your program. It is open. John contacted us this morning. He left a message for us. John, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Joe. How are you?
And you were in Cork, obviously, with that accent, but you weren't contacting us about the storm. What were you contacting us about?
Well, it's not the proposed change. It is the changes. It's coming now that the Garda uniform is being changed again.
It's in today.
Yeah. They're now going to have the caps are gone, the peak caps are gone, and they're going to be replaced with baseball hats, right, or caps.
Yeah.
And I think that's just a step too far. I was never in favour of the open neck shirt getting rid of the tie, the casual look. I'm not in favour of the facial hair, the Guards logo facial hair. And now you throw the cap on top of those two they already mentioned, and I think it takes them the respect from the uniform, and by taking from the respect of the uniform, takes the respect from the individual guards in general, and the law itself. I think Guards, Joe, should stand out, not blend in.
So to be wearing, would you want to describe the baseball cap for those people who haven't seen? And a lot of people.
It's got the crest in front. It's got the crest in front, and it's the blue, it's the kind of royal dark blue. But I mean, as I said, look, you factor that in,
But is it in any way distinctive, or does it just, most baseball caps have the big peak, the logo on the front for Nike or MAGA, whatever.
Well, you see, that's the problem, Joe. Like, it has the Garda emblem, obviously, in the middle of the baseball cap. But, I mean, there's emblems and all, like baseball. I wear them myself. I mean, they're all over, like, and there's a logo on all of them. If there's a sports logo to something else, or people get printed stuff on them, their own baseball hats that are plain, we'll say, right? But I think this is a step too far completely. I think it's going to dilute the authority of the guards on the street. As I said, they will repeat. They're not supposed to blend in. They're supposed to stand out.
Okay, and what your point is, most people, though I wouldn't let one near my head, most people wear baseball caps now, young people especially. You'd never see anyone going around in the Garda hat, apart from Gardaí and prison officers and firefighters when they're on dress parade or whatever.
No, they're supposed to, if they're going to court or any ceremonial stuff, that they're issued still with the peak cap, and they have to wear that.
Well, doesn't that beg the question, why, this is the Garda press office, the new baseball caps are for operational and on-the-beat policing, which I would have thought was 90% of a guard's job.
Yeah, of course it is.
Being out. They're more suitable to, the baseball caps are more suitable for responding to live incidents, running, moving, etc. Do you accept that, John? If you run with a baseball cap, it's less likely to blow away.
There is that. Like, I mean, the peak cap might fall off the head, but it's just what it stood for, I think, the full uniform. Like, from
today, the operational uniform, I don't know what they picked today, but why not? Anyway, the operational uniform, just for listeners, includes the baseball cap. But you cannot opt to wear the dress cap, which is the cap we know now. You cannot opt to wear the dress cap with the operational uniform. In other words, when you're in your T-shirt, your short sleeve T-shirt, open necked or whatever, and your gilet, they're getting a gilet as well. If you're in your T-shirt and your gilet, you cannot wear the dress cap. You have to wear the baseball cap from today.
Yeah, that's
the only time the Garda cap that we knew as the normal cap up till yesterday is now known as the Garda dress cap. And that will continue to be worn with dress uniform on occasions such as court appearances. And then if the baseball cap, the guard could have to run in a court appearance and grapple with a... Yeah. Anyway, the dress uniform will be more worn in formal surroundings like court appearances or for high-level meetings. Does that mean when a guard of a morning is due to be in court, he or she is in the dress uniform, has to wear a dress uniform, including the dress cap, which is the cap that was around till yesterday. Mm-hmm. If they then finish in the court at 11 o'clock, they can't go on duty then. They have to go back home and change into a baseball cap and a T-shirt.
Yeah, well, this is it. But I don't understand the part, Joe, as a guard, say, wearing the P cap in court, because you went to the courts, the guards don't wear their hats or P caps inside in court. They don't wear their caps. So they forget it as regards the ceremonial stuff where you could understand that it was whatever. But like we say, it's not about respect. Like I watch you when you're in the meaning of life there. I don't see Joe Duffy turning up in a baseball hat and no and an open shirt.
Yeah, but I'm odd.
No, but seriously,
I wouldn't come into work. I wouldn't come into work without a shorted tie, most occasions either a waistcoat and invariably double cuffs. But I'm odd, as my mother used to say.
When I see the guards coming down the street, they just stood out, right? Now, I'm going back to when they had the tie, whatever, because I don't agree with the open neck shirt. But there's no difference over between a traffic warden and a policeman with a baseball hat, right? You don't see the Metropolitan Police in London. They still retain the old-style helmet as well as the P caps. The PSNI have the P cap. The Scottish Police have the P cap, right?
Okay.
So all of a sudden, look, when I see a guard, Joe, I don't want to see someone that looks like someone that came out of a hostel.
Is that unfair now, John? You say because you wear a base. What are you saying? If a guard knocks on your door... Sorry, hang on. If a guard knocks on your door at 3 o'clock in the morning... Sorry, if someone knocks on your door, God forbid, at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you open the door and you see someone in a baseball cap, you might get a bit of a fright.
Well, this is it, because at least before you know what to expect. You saw the proper uniform, right? But now there's no difference with a baseball hat, an open neck shirt, facial hair, and you don't know whether this guy is homeless or not, like whether he's a guard.
Okay, stay there, John. Joe at RTE 51551. We asked Marty Whelan to give us an opinion. Marty, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Joe. How are we today?
The most dapper man in RTE. You wear a suit every single day.
So do you.
So do I, but I'm odd, you're not. You're dapper because you get it from I presume, I remember at your late dear mother's funeral, and you spoke about her and her cardigan from Boyers, and you spoke about your father being a Boyer. Both of them worked. He worked in Cleary's, yes.
Yeah, father worked in the shirt department in Cleary's, and my mum was in Cassidy's in Georgia Street. She was a buyer. So, so putting on the good gear is just part and parcel of just how I am.
And would your father ever go to work in a pair of jeans and a pair of flip-flops?
Oh, my God, are we?
No, you're here, Marty. You're loud and clear.
There you are again. Sorry.
No, would your dad always dress for work?
But you see, it's a generational thing as well. Don't forget.
Okay.
When he would relax, he'd still have a shirt and tie on him.
Would he?
That's generations, you know.
Yeah,
so the outfit was important, and I grew up with that. But I like to feel you feel better when you go in and you have your outfit on, and you just feel you're in control of yourself.
Now, what do you think? What's your gut reaction, Marty, to Garda in a baseball cap?
Well, now the first thing I'd say is I think it's a good idea. This is the first thing, because I think it's modern looking, and it gets us up to speed with other forces, I'm sure, around the world. So I like the idea of it. What?
John, come in. John, what are you saying?
No, I don't, because I think the girls, unfortunately, have lost a lot of respect in society, because people now have no problem taking girls on physically, verbally, whatever, and the society we're now living in. And this, to me, only dilutes the respect even more. Like when you have guys going around now, they had full dress uniform before, wore a tie. They looked like they represented the law. They stood out. I keep saying that word. They stood out. But now they're just blending with every Tom, Dick and Harry wearing a baseball hat.
What do you think of that? But Marty, that's your point, isn't it? They do. But what about John's point that they shouldn't blend in?
Well,
uniform?
Of course, part of the operation, I suspect, is that blending in is probably a good thing in some ways for the guards. But the only thing I will say about the baseball cap is I wear baseball caps in the summertime, and I had a look at them when I knew you were going to give me a ring today, and I had a look, and I don't know how many I have that are navy.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? In other words,
these are all navy,
replicated.
Yeah.
And they're easily replicated, and that could weigh a bit of a problem insofar as you can put any old badge on it, run quick enough, and you might the wrong people might wear them. There is that danger. That's
a great point. That's a great point.
So baseball battery, baseball hats are Freudian slip there. Baseball hats, baseball caps are. You're right, Martin. They are easy to fake. But if someone,
and you buy them for £6 or £7, do you know what I mean? When you're on your holidays, and I think that could be a problem. And if someone tells you they're a guard, your immediate reaction is that you believe them.
But if someone walked up to your hall door, sorry, if you met someone on the street with the old style Garda hat on him, not the old style, sorry, yesterday's style. We're talking about yesterday and today.
Right,
it's a sea change overnight. If someone walked up to you with one of those Garda hats on it and he didn't have the rest of the uniform, you'd know immediately he was an imposter or she was an imposter.
Yeah.
But whereas someone comes up to you in a baseball bat, you don't.
No, a baseball hat. But you don't know. And there's no question about it that could be a problem for people. I like the idea of modernity, and I get the point that they need to be flexible. They need to be able to run after the fellas who were up to different and whatever. I get all that. But it is a point that you don't recognise the guard without the full regalia. Yeah. It is a thing. And it was always a very stylish thing. But times change, and I suppose we have to accept.
But the custodian helmet, as it's called, the Bobby's helmet in London especially, which they still wear.
They do.
That's not exactly good for running, is it? You wouldn't be. Usain Bolt wouldn't be wearing it around.
It'd be good for keeping sandwiches, I suppose.
Yeah,
well, I don't know what else would be doing.
Well, back in the day, Marty, when I was working in the probation/prison service, the cap, the Garda cap, was also worn by prison officers. Still is, and they wear the full uniform. But one of the handy things about the Garda cap, which you cannot do with the baseball hat, you can photocopy the crossword simplex from the Irish Times that morning, cut it out, and sellotape it inside your hat, your Garda hat, your prison officer. And you can sit there, if you're on static duty, you can sit there with your hat in your lap and you're doing the crossword. You can't do that with a baseball cap. You can't do that with a baseball cap.
No. So already you're finding flaws.
John, what about the Garda press office don't say it? That they won't. By the way, they do say in reports today, they do say that they're now getting an extra gilet, a sleeveless jacket to put on because the Gardaí were complaining about the cold.
Yeah, I saw that, but you there's not that much of a difference in your age and my age. So the things you remember, the girls when they had proper overcoats in the winter, proper full-length overcoats, which kept the cold out. But now they've got all these small little jackety things going around, and no wonder they're frozen. I've no problem with they getting thermal fleece jackets for inside their uniform or whatever. But my main point is that I think the respect for the uniform has to be overnight deleted. I keep saying this, they should stand out, not blend in.
And Marty, in your travels around the world,
yes, sir,
especially with Eurovision, I presume you're going to Basel again this year.
So I'm going to visit somebody else's money in Switzerland.
Right, yeah, there's no problem there. You know that. Do you pick up hats in different cities? Do you notice people?
Yeah, I would pick up hats whenever I go, and I like you in the winter time. I will also wear fedora. Do you know what I mean? The cold mornings coming in and out, which we like to do. But I pick up these hats when I be going away. I picked up, God forgive me, I picked up some hats. I think I have a Russian submarine lieutenant's hat. Various things from over the. I don't know what it is. I just like the idea.
Well, Marty, okay, just to come back to the baseball, the baseball hat. The baseball hat is now obligatory. That's from today. If you're a guard on the street. Now, do you not think they should be given the option to wear the other hat if they prefer it?
I would have thought the option would have been appropriate, but I suppose in the guards you probably have to have rules and regulations and different. They have to follow them. But I would have thought the option because how smart they looked in the full uniform.
Okay, now I just want to. I see the next caller, Jimmy wants to talk about the PSNI. But before we talk about the PSNI, John's call generated interest as well in the general sense of dress, because coincidentally, John, Edwin Poots, who's the Speaker of the Northern Ireland Assembly, he had this to say yesterday in the Assembly about the dress or the appearance of the MLAs.
I'd also remind members that the dress code is smart. Now, some of you have a very loose interpretation of smart, and I would encourage members to dress smartly when they come to the chamber. We're not demanding that gentlemen wear shirts and ties, but we're asking to dress smartly and to look up to doing the job. Just a few wee reminders there before we move to the next item of business.
Well, he did say it. He said it yesterday, coincidentally. What do you think about the attire in our national parliament, John? Where caps are now worn. Obviously, you can, for a long, long time now, you can go in your anorak and your Guyanese T-shirt if you wish.
Well, look, I think, again, it's down to respect. I think if you're elected by the public out there, I know you get the argument, Joe. Some people say, doesn't matter what you're wearing, as long as you're elected and you do the job right. But I think at the same time, it's the high pecking order. Like, well,
would you've got it fried yesterday, John, if your fellow city man, and I know you know Micheál Martin, if our Taoiseach had come back from Ars Neutron and put on a short-sleeve T-shirt and went into the Dáil and an open neck T-shirt and went with give me the famous Cork team that his son plays for, the Cork ship with the Rangers or whatever.
Nemo Rangers,
Nemo Rangers, yeah. With the Nemo Rangers T-shirt on him, would the country have been annoyed? Yes, they would, wouldn't they?
Oh, a lot of people would, because again, it's down to respect. It's in perception of respect.
Okay, let me bring Breda in. Stay there, John. 51551, Breda. What do you think of John's point that the Gardaí should stand out, not blend in, unless they're undercover? But Gardaí should stand out.
I agree, and I think that I'm okay with facial hair and all that, but tattoos I'm not interested in myself, but I think that it's diluting their power.
Yeah.
Diluting their power, because anyone can wear a baseball cap. Anyone can't just wear a Garda hat.
Yeah, smart.
And I wouldn't wear a baseball cap personally. I wouldn't be into that. But I think it's diluting their power, and there'll be even less respect for them.
But the Garda press office say it's to help them if they're running after suspects.
Sure, Jesus, Joseph, they could take off their hat and hold it in their hand while they're running.
Sure, could you take off the hat and use it as a frisbee and take down the suspect?
You could.
From this is on Garda Síochána Facebook. We asked the spokesperson, but from tomorrow you'll spot one of two changes to our a uniform as we head out in the beat. Modern policing is more complex than ever, and while responding to fast-paced, evolving and dynamic situations, the cap could be cumbersome and was prone to getting knocked off. We've also introduced, so we work together to introduce a new cap, it's a baseball cap, that we will wear when we are all out on operational duties. It's giving, wait for this, John's gone, Breda, wait for this line. It's giving, this is the Garda line, it's giving street style. Is that even a sentence? It's giving street style. What do you think of that, Breda?
Just ridiculous. I mean, it's just minimising the Guards down to just being anybody on the street.
Okay, Larry O'Hara was in the Guards. Stay with us, Breda. Joe at RTE for 4 decades. Larry, what do you think of the baseball cap? Now, the baseball cap is not a choice. If you're a guard and you walk out of the Garda station and you're not heading to a court, you have to wear the baseball cap. Would you wear it, Larry, back in the day?
Oh, well,
you'd obey orders. You'd obey orders, yeah.
Well, I suppose if I was ordered to do it, I'd have no choice. But I mean, like this is a joke too far. It's a joke. They've destroyed the uniform already. They've defaced it in what they're putting members of the force out in at the moment. And I mean, where's the beautiful tunics we wore, the beautiful collar and tie? You know, it's this thing. Even I mean, what they're wearing already, there, the most recent change.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know whether the people was working in a supermarket or whether he was a schoolboy going to school or coming from school or going to a soccer match or what he was doing, what they're wearing is ridiculous. I mean, this thing is a step too far altogether.
And is it because they look? But surely the look isn't the issue, Larry. Even though the Garda press office say it's giving street style. But the look isn't the issue, it's the functionality of it. And they say the cap, which was there until yesterday, the cap was a hindrance. Was it ever a hindrance to you?
No, well, what we done in our day, right, if you had to take action and you had to run or you had to, you took the cap in your hand, obviously, and you ran, you kept You have to do the same with these caps. I mean, they'll fall off you too. Like, I mean, you have to hold them in your hand, won't you? Same thing. Only they're making the guards, whoever is advising them, whatever type of people are advising them to do this.
Probably fascinated. But Larry, if you, they're also suggesting that the dress cap, as it's now known as, that guards wore up to yesterday, most guards wore up to yesterday, they're now saying they're prone to inter alia, because they're saying you can't use them in a chase. You say they fall off, or they might hinder you. If you lost your cap back in the day, your Garda dress hat, as they're now calling it, Larry, was it easy to get a new one?
Yeah, there'd be someone going to Dublin to the stores or something, and they'd bring back a couple of caps, you know.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have to fill in 72 forms and say, where's your cap gone, and where did you lose it?
You fill in what was known in the old days. You'd fill in your half sheet before you press buttons. You fill in your half sheet and you reported that you, which often happens at a festival or something where there was a big crowd, and maybe a row would start and you get intermingled with the crowd, and you would lose your hat. I've lost my hat a few times, just they dropped on the ground, and obviously some fellow, if you get a Garda hat, it's a lovely souvenir to have going home.
Yeah, but it's very recognisable as a Garda cap, whereas a baseball hat is a baseball hat.
I mean, I'd agree with John there. I mean, isn't every second teenager going around today in a baseball cap?
Well, Donald Trump has gone around in a baseball cap. Every American's gone around in a baseball cap of one.
It doesn't make him look any better, does it?
Is that possible?
Joe.
Breda.
I have to go in a minute.
Okay, yeah, so is Mark, I'm told. Yes, Breda.
But Gardaí need to be distinctive, not diluted.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. It's a step too far altogether. They want to stop this. No, this is a joke.
Okay, Marty, final question.
Thanks,
Breda. Final question, Martin. When you mentioned your dad, when he was relaxing at home, he sat in his armchair in a shorts and tie.
And instead of the suit that he'd wear to work, he would wear a jacket and trousers and maybe a cardigan, and he'd have a shirt and tie, and he'd take off the jacket. So that was relaxing. It's incredible, isn't it? A stylish man.
Now, steady when I ask you this question, Marty.
Okay.
But full disclosure, please. When you're relaxing at home, are you in a kimono? Are you in a shorts?
No. No, but in fairness, I'd have a pair of jeans on me, but I'd have an open neck shirt, and beautifully put together by Mrs. Wheeler. As you know.
But you'd never wear a pair of sports shorts around the house. Speak freely.
No.
Okay. I've seen your legs, and I think that's a correct decision.
A wise move indeed. Anyway,
God bless you, Marty Whelan. And Marty is on Lyric every day, waking us up, getting us up.